Datanastara Size Janelle Crane Starlight Ata. I'm the interim director for the Tsuut'ina Gunaha Institute. Guaniskle die zinise na guninzite. Back when me and Steven were planning our work plan and our year plan, I was like, isn't it gonna be 10 years since the program's been open? I think about the early days when the program started.
First one, 1972, we started to have a language program under local initiatives projects, they called it. I put the proposal together and managed to hire 2 people. One was Harley Crowchild. Harley Crowchild, she done quite a few things for this community. He also started the name Tsuut'ina from Sarsi.
They decided they're trying to bring back the language. So they asked me to run it, and this white guy from the university heard about it and he got interested. I think this gentleman's name was Ernie. But anyway, he helped us develop the Tsúut'ina alphabets. And the alphabets, Tsúut'ina alphabets, have 32 sounds or alphabets in a Tsúut'ina language. And he say words and catching on pretty good. And he noticed that Tsúut'ina words, every time you talk to each other, it sounded like a musical song. Da-nit-ata, da-nit-ata. It sounded like music. It was very, very educational for me, for everybody involved, both language and that university person learning too. So it was really good.
So in the 80s, I went back to school, and I went back to university to take linguistics because I knew that we needed something to put the languages together. So I'm a fluent speaker, and I know most of the words, but like I said, a lot of the words died with the elders that we've been burying. A lot of the war words are gone. And child talk is gone. So there's parts of the language that we will never recover. But that's okay. We're still speaking Tsuut'ina. As long as you speak Tsuut'ina and you have a long-range plan.
When the community comes together, we can achieve great things. And it'll take a community to get us farther than we've ever been.
It took us 3 generations to lose the language, so it's going to take us 3 generations to relearn.
I started getting into language years ago when Emil, Ellery, John One Spot, when they were small, when they were in, even before they were in grade 1. I taught it at Fairview School, Airdrie, Forest Lawn, Leroy Daniels, Lake Bonavista. I was all over to try and teach the language and the culture. I've been there for a number of years, and then the program ended. So I started going to corrections. I started working for corrections. And there was some Tsuut'ina in corrections, where I started teaching them how to speak Tsuut'ina. When Bruce started his program, we were at a meeting somewhere, I can't quite remember where. Bruce Starlight, my brother Bruce, approached me and said, I need help. Are you willing to help me? So I asked him, it depends on what you need help on. He said, the language.
2008, I just got beat out of council and I went to work for the province for 4 years, and I came back. And then I put a proposal together. Our first budget was 1.4 million, and we hired 24 people.
Right from day one, I think, when it first started out, I was asked by Bruce. But at that time, I was driving bus for the Cardinal, and he approached me. Little did I know what I was getting myself into, because I knew, some of the language, and I thought, okay, there was something interesting that I thought I'd better pursue. When my wife was still alive, she was into, she was doing things like, the language and culture, and I thought, since she was retired, take over where she left off. And so that's how I ended up getting onto the program. So after that, I don't know, he must have went out trying to recruit more people to get involved with the program. There was quite a bit of us that were involved in that area. So that's as far as I can think back,
So he started getting the university teachers from Edmonton, Calgary, to start teaching all of us, the younger ones, the ones that worked in the office, us elders. I was hearing a different way of teaching our language that I was so shocked of the way the linguistics were teaching us that I wanted to learn more. To us, Tsúut'ina, all these years since I was little, it meant I'm hungry. So I always go back to that word. It means I'm hungry. But Bruce said, okay, now say it. I said it. What does it mean? It means I'm hungry. That's all I knew. He told me, now say it real slow. So I started saying it slowly, and he said, Tsuut'ina is my heart. Zot means when you really starve and you gulp your food. So he said, it means my hungry heart. I just about fell off my chair. Because there was meanings to our words.
With what I learned in linguistics, the dream was that using linguistic principles will teach teachers about the language, how to understand it, how to write it, how to read it. And then they can convey what they learn to children. The children don't have to take...
The language in the schools have come a long way. There's a new generation of Tsuut'ina speakers on the rise. It is with them the Tsuut'ina language will survive.